Welcome to another painting tutorial. In this one we're going to look at the Forgeworld Goblin Shaman. So this is the shaman that comes with the commands squad. These are the paints I use, and these will be available as a painting guide on my website, so be sure to check the link below. So I've done the base coat of everything here, just showing you that at 4x speed. And I'm going along with Cabalite green on all of the sort of magical smoke at the base there. So I'm trying to paint on not quite a base coat. I'm letting some of the shadows stay there. They would have been the Incubi Darkness. That would have been my base coat for that. So I'm just painting it on nice and quick, kind of an overbrush, getting everything except for the deepest crevices, and covering all that up there. So that's going to be one of the main focal points for this model. I chose the sort of the dark Eldar turquoisey colors, not turquoise, green blues, as my main focal point. So now I'm using Sabarite green as a highlight. So going over sort of as many of the raised edges as I can get there, and just picking that as fast as I can to get a nice look going there. Okay, Hellion green, or yeah, for the sort of a dry brushing on all the edges there. And that's basically that done. So I did that first because there's some dry brushing that's going to get on some of the other parts of the model, so I wanted that to be all finished off nice and quickly. Now over the sort of the black base coat of the cloak, I'm doing Skaven Blight Dinge, and that's going to give me a bit of a sort of a dirty black, as opposed to say a blue black or pure gray black. So I'm painting this on quite heavily on all the areas, and it's going to get a wash later on with Newland oil. So after the base coats and all that other stuff there, just Agrax Earthshade over anything that's going to have brownish colors. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to do Newland oil on all the black bits. So that's sort of how I bring the black highlights back down a bit. So I do kind of almost a gray over to coat, and then black wash. Beal-tan green for the flesh. So it's goblin flesh on the face there. And now I'm going to highlight up storm vermin fur on sort of the edges of all the cloak. Just picking out some of those sharp highlights. Okay, and then highlighting up some of the face, so Lorien Forest. So for the goblins, I like to do it kind of this foresty green kind of color, whereas orcs, I like to do them really bright green, like the Warpstone glow sort of a look. I just like my my orc flesh to be nice and bright. Okay, and then doing Strachan green for some edge highlighting on the flesh there, and that just about wraps that up. Okay, Scrag brown is going to be the highlight here on the leather. And I think that just about does it for any of the leather highlights. That's bright enough. Any of the bone here is getting Ushabti bone. So there's a bit of a skull on his staff there, some sort of a dwarf skull. And because that's just sort of the first highlight, it's getting an overbrush, painting everything except for the deepest shadows. Okay, and then Gorther brown is going to be the highlight on the wood. And just trying to maintain as much of the texture on that thing as I can. So just using kind of the edge of the brush to paint over it. Baneblade brown for some final highlights there. Okay, some Screaming Skull highlights on the skull on his staff. Again, just using the edge of the brush there, the side of the brush, if you will, to brush on all the raised bits. Okay, Ratskin flesh for some of this beard, and trying to get that a nice reddish color, so it looks like kind of a red hair for the Slayer. And then Balthasar gold for a couple little gold details here and there, and that's it. We're done. So this is the painting guide. You can check out my blog, and I have all these still images there showing you all the different areas that I use the paints on. And of course, there's lots of still images here. I'll just show you those now. And there you are. So all the different angles, you can use this as a guide to how I did it. And of course, you can switch out the colors to whatever fits your army scheme, but it gives you an idea of how to get to the end. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.